Welcome to Artificial Intelligence TV News. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, has taken its biggest swing yet at wearable tech. At the company's annual Connect event, Chief Executive Officer Mark Zuckerberg lifted the curtain on the Meta Ray-Ban display, a $799 pair of smart glasses with a built-in screen. Meta isn't just releasing another gadget. It's betting that the next mainstream computer will sit on your face, not in your pocket. Smart glasses have been promised before. Google Glass famously fizzled, largely because it looked more sci-fi than streetwear. Meta is trying to dodge that mistake by teaming up with EssilorLuxottica, the owner of Ray-Ban. The result? A device that's almost indistinguishable from the classic Wayfarer, making the technology feel familiar and, crucially, socially acceptable. So, what can these glasses actually do? A postage stamp-sized full-color display is projected onto the inside of the right lens. It can surface notifications from WhatsApp or Messenger, give turn-by-turn walking directions, translate a menu on the fly, or let you hop on a video call with the world seeing exactly what you see. Because the system is wired into Meta's artificial intelligence, you can ask questions, "What building is that?" and get answers right in your field of view. Controlling the device doesn't rely on awkward hand-waving or constant voice commands. Instead, Meta bundles the neural band, a wrist-worn controller that reads the tiny electrical signals in your hand through electromyography. A finger pinch can scroll a menu. A subtle swipe can answer a call. The idea is to keep interactions quiet, quick, and almost invisible. The hardware rounds out the promise. There's a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera for photos and 3K video, open-ear speakers for music and calls, and a 6-microphone array to capture spatial audio. A conspicuous light-emitting diode lights up whenever the camera is recording, a nod to privacy concerns. Battery life lands at about 6 hours of mixed use, and the included charging case stretches that to roughly 30 hours. Meta's vision is straightforward. Make smart glasses as common as smartphones. Zuckerberg argues that glasses are the perfect perch for artificial intelligence because they see what you see, hear what you hear. Reality, of course, is messier. At $799, the Ray-Ban display costs more than many flagship phones. To ease the sticker shock and to make sure the frames actually fit, Meta will sell the first units only through physical retailers such as Best Buy and LensCrafters, beginning September 30th. Then there's the issue of distraction. Meta says the glasses help you stay present by freeing you from constantly checking a phone, yet the possibility of pop-ups in your line of sight may have the opposite effect. Even during the live demo, Zuckerberg ran into glitches he blamed on spotty Wi-Fi, a reminder that seamless augmented reality is still a work in progress. To widen its appeal, Meta launched 2 companion products. The $499 Oakley Meta Vanguard targets athletes with a tougher build and integration with Garmin devices for real-time workout stats. For anyone who wants audio and cameras but no screen, the company refreshed the original Ray-Ban Meta glasses, now starting at $379. Taken together, the lineup is a high-stakes wager that the future of computing will be worn, not held. Whether consumers are ready to pay the price and to let Meta sit literally in front of their eyes will determine whether these glasses become the next must-have accessory or join the scrapyard of unrealized tech dreams. In Washington, a sobering reality has prompted swift action. The U.S. House of Representatives is earmarking far more money for lawmakers' personal security after the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, a stark reminder of the country's rising tide of political violence. Under a recently extended pilot program, the House Committee on Administration has doubled the amount each member can spend on private protection, from $5,000 to $10,000 a month through November 21st. At the same time, a stopgap government funding bill, now under debate, would add roughly $30 million to a mutual aid fund that reimburses local police for guarding lawmakers in their home districts. The Trump administration has asked for another $88 million to strengthen security for the executive and judicial branches, including Supreme Court justices. The immediate catalyst was Kirk's assassination on September 10, 2025. While addressing students at Utah Valley University, the Turning Point USA co-founder was shot and killed. A 22-year-old suspect, Tyler Robinson, was captured after a brief manhunt. Prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty, citing text messages in which Robinson allegedly confessed and detailed a week-long plan. Shockwaves from the killing quickly reached Capitol Hill. Speaker Mike Johnson said the tragedy forced uncomfortable but necessary conversations about personal safety. Lawmakers of both parties report a surge in threats and are rethinking public events once considered routine. Some have canceled outdoor town halls. Others now travel with private security wherever they go. This isn't an isolated incident. In June, 2 Democratic Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses were shot in their homes. Former State House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed. Last year, then-President Donald Trump survived 2 assassination attempts, and Pennsylvania's governor saw his residence targeted in an arson attack. The numbers are even more unsettling. U.S. Capitol Police are on pace to examine about 14,000 threat assessments by year's end. Between 2016 and 2024, threats against members of Congress jumped an estimated 950%. Rarely does Capitol Hill agree on much, but here the concern is bipartisan. Republican Lauren Boebert says it is no longer safe for her to hold in-person town halls. Democrat Jared Moskowitz admits many lawmakers are scared to death, though few will say so publicly. Early reviews of the security pilot program have been overwhelmingly positive, according to House Administration Chair Brian Stahel. The main complaint: members want even more resources. Some argue the proposed $30 million is still short of what today's climate demands. Yet money alone cannot solve the larger problem. Many officials warn that increasingly toxic political rhetoric is breeding an atmosphere where violence feels permissible. The challenge is twofold: protect public servants while preserving the face-to-face access on which representative democracy depends. If fear walls off lawmakers from their constituents, the entire system suffers. Because the current funding hike expires in November, debate over a long-term fix is inevitable. One idea gaining traction is legislation that would classify political violence as a hate crime, stiffening penalties for attacks motivated by ideology. Charlie Kirk's assassination is a tragic marker on a troubling timeline, but it is also a final wake-up call. The new security money is a necessary stopgap, yet it comes with a warning. Unless the nation finds a way to lower its political temperature, the measures meant to protect democracy today could just as easily signal how fragile that democracy has become.
In the wake of the tragic assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, a second, less visible battle is being waged online. Security analysts are sounding the alarm about a significant surge in misinformation on social media, much of it created and spread by foreign governments. This isn't just random noise, it's a coordinated effort to exploit a national tragedy, deepen political divides, and undermine trust in American institutions. Today, we'll break down who's behind these campaigns, what they're trying to achieve, and how they're doing it. The immediate aftermath of any major politically charged event is often chaotic, with information and misinformation spreading rapidly. But the assassination of Charlie Kirk has been targeted by a particularly intense and organized wave of disinformation. Within hours of the news breaking, security analysts observed a dramatic spike in social media posts designed not just to misinform, but to provoke anger and incite action during an already tense period. At the forefront of this effort, according to experts, are groups backed by Russia. One of the most prominent narratives being pushed suggests that the United States is on the verge of a civil war. This idea was amplified by Russian ultranationalist Alexander Dugin, a key figure in shaping the country's political ideology. Russian state-controlled media also played a direct role, publishing articles in English with leading headlines like, "Was Charlie Kirk's killer a pro?" planting seeds of a conspiracy. Furthermore, these Russian-led campaigns have attempted to tie the assassination to Kirk's opposition to United States military aid for Ukraine, falsely suggesting Ukrainian involvement. Online, networks of automated accounts, or bots, have been working overtime to blame Democrats for the attack and predict more political violence is on the way. But Russia isn't the only country involved. Analysts have identified similar campaigns originating from China and Iran, each with its own specific angle. Chinese propaganda has largely focused on painting the United States as a dangerously violent and politically unstable nation. Bots linked to Beijing have spread messages claiming Kirk's death is proof of a dysfunctional and hopelessly polarized America. These outlets have also circulated outright lies about the suspected shooter, Tyler Robinson, baselessly claiming he had donated to Donald Trump's 2020 presidential campaign. Meanwhile, pro-Iranian groups have taken a different approach, promoting anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Their narrative often points the finger at Israel, with Iranian state media going so far as to accuse Israel's Mossad intelligence agency of orchestrating the killing. They claim, without any evidence, that this was retaliation for Kirk's opposition to a potential United States military strike on Iran. So how are these foreign actors so effective at spreading their messages? One key tactic is not to invent falsehoods from scratch, but to find and amplify existing conspiracy theories and divisive content already being shared by American social media users. They act as a megaphone, taking a spark of domestic discord and fanning it into a wildfire. This effort has been supercharged by the increasing availability of artificial intelligence. AI-generated images, passed off as authentic photos from the crime scene, have been used to make false stories seem more credible and harder for the average person to debunk. AI chatbots on platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, have also contributed to the confusion. One such bot, Grok, provided false information and even misidentified the suspect before authorities had released the actual name. This demonstrates how AI-powered search and summary tools can inadvertently generate and spread inaccurate details during a breaking news event. Beyond AI, these campaigns rely on more traditional methods as well, such as creating fake news reports, fabricating quotes from celebrities, and using networks of bots to rapidly push their narratives across multiple social media platforms. The scale of this operation is significant. The Center for Internet Security and the Institute for Strategic Dialogue have tracked widespread posts that blame the radical left, noting they have generated very high levels of engagement. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, for example, over 46,000 posts on X mentioned the word trans, with the majority incorrectly speculating that the shooter was transgender. According to the NewsGuard disinformation watchdog, official media outlets in Russia, China, and Iran mentioned Charlie Kirk a staggering 6,200 times in the week following his death.
While this foreign-driven content is only a small fraction of the total online conversation, security experts warn that its potential to undermine political unity and even incite violence is a serious concern. This flood of disinformation has not gone unnoticed by officials. Utah Governor Spencer Cox has publicly spoken about the tremendous amount of disinformation that law enforcement is tracking. He stated directly, "We have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence." And he urged the public to be cautious and to step away from inflammatory online content. John Cohen, a former official with the Department of Homeland Security, has warned that this threat is growing with every major news event, and that the ultimate goal is to push people from online anger to real-world action. For their part, both the Russian and Chinese governments have officially denied the accusations that they are spreading disinformation related to the Kirk shooting. In the end, the online information war following the death of Charlie Kirk serves as a stark reminder of how foreign adversaries can exploit moments of national crisis. By amplifying division, spreading conspiracy theories, and using sophisticated tools like AI, they aim to weaken the social fabric of the United States. This makes it more important than ever for citizens to be critical consumers of information, to question the source of what they see online, and to resist the urge to share content that is designed to provoke anger and fear.